You are currently executing a financial blueprint that was never actually intended for your specific bank account.
Those viral wealth building hacks you bookmarked, they were likely written by a creator whose earnings triple your own.
That investment masterclass you streamed, it was tailored for individuals possessing capital you haven't acquired yet.
Even that universal 20% savings mantra is mathematically out of reach for millions who hear it.
Here is the unspoken reality regarding modern money management. The tactics that thrive at one specific pay grade don't just become unnecessary as you climb. They actually turn destructive.
Habits that foster growth at 35,000 can significantly sabotage your momentum once you hit 75,000.
The frameworks supporting you at 75,000 can transform into massive liabilities at 6 figures and beyond.
You have likely sensed this friction.
The guidance that resonated when you launched your career now feels totally detached from your current reality, yet no one identifies the exact shift points or the alternative actions required at
every milestone.
This presentation dismantles the precise economic maneuvers that matter across 3 vital earning brackets: 35,000, 75,000, and 100,000 plus. We aren't discussing generic platitudes. These are distinct systems calibrated to the unique pressures and possibilities of every tax bracket.
If you have ever questioned whether you are prioritizing the correct financial levers for your actual life, not a hypothetical scenario with different resources, this was built for you.
Your current earning power alters every single priority. It is finally time to stop mimicking a strategy meant for a different person's pay stub.
Let us begin with the hard facts of the $35,000 tier. At this specific level, your net monthly income is approximately $2,500.
That is the limit. That total must handle housing, energy, nutrition, travel, protection, and every other human requirement.
I won't sugarcoat this, it is grueling. Every single cent carries weight here in a way that high earners simply cannot comprehend.
A $200 mechanical failure isn't just a minor hurdle.
It is a structural crisis that can trigger a domino effect of late penalties, housing instability, and predatory debt that lingers for years.
Success at this stage isn't about fine-tuning. It is about establishing a survival buffer and building the bedrock for your future self.
Your primary objective is creating psychological breathing room via a foundational safety net, not 6 months of overhead. Save that for later.
Currently, you need 4 to 8 weeks of bare minimum survival cash in an accessible vault. If your core needs cost $2,000 monthly, your target is $2,000 to $4,000.
Think of this as a kinetic dampener. It is the barrier that stops a random disaster from wrecking your trajectory and forcing you into high interest credit cycles.
A small safety net is the only shield against a permanent debt trap. Here is how you build it when margins are razor thin.
Redirect 5 to 10% of your net pay into automation. At $2,500 monthly, that is $125 to $250.
Schedule an electronic transfer for the morning after payday before you even perceive that capital as spendable.
I often hear the objection, I literally cannot afford to save. I recognize that feeling. However, a psychological phenomenon occurs when capital vanishes before you touch it.
You pivot, your lifestyle instinctively shrinks to fit the remaining balance. The funds that would have trickled away on tiny impulse buys instead consolidate into your fortress.
Analyze your recent 60 days of outgoings. Hunt down the dormant memberships you forgot. Negotiate your utility rates. Call your providers and ask for loyalty discounts. These dialogues are uncomfortable, but they frequently reclaim $20 to $50 monthly. Kill any subscription you haven't used this week. These minor trims provide the exact investment capital you assumed was non-existent. In 2026, high-yield digital accounts offer 5% returns. Your fortress should reside there, accumulating interest while staying liquid.
The second objective at 35,000 is neutralizing toxic debt with extreme prejudice. Consumer credit at this bracket is a soul crusher.
Interest rates in 2026 are frequently topping 22%. Carrying a $5,000 balance drains over $1,100 annually in pure interest. That is fuel for your future being incinerated to pay for things you likely don't even own anymore.
Here is the blueprint. Map every liability by its cost and size. Select either the mathematical peak, paying highest interest first, or the psychological momentum of clearing small balances first.
One is smarter for your wallet. One is better for your brain. Choose the one you won't quit. Once your safety net covers 2 months, pivot every spare cent into this battle.
Erase the debt entirely, then use those former payment amounts to expand your safety net. The third priority here is the most radical, escalating your ceiling. I know this sounds frustratingly simple. If earning more were easy, you'd do it. But here is the cold math.
At 35,000, you hit a floor for cutting costs. Shelter costs what it costs. Calories cost what they cost.
The margins stay thin because the intake is low. You can optimize a low salary until the end of time and still never achieve true wealth.
The physics of money won't allow it. The most massive lever is increasing the inflow. This doesn't require a master's degree.
Start by maximizing your current role. Request overtime. Volunteer for the projects that lead to promotions.
Have a blunt conversation with leadership about your growth path. Many workers have never actually asked what it takes to earn a raise.
Simultaneously, cultivate Hive. Use skills through digital self-education. Use free platforms to gain certifications.
Find the regional demand and build that skill during your off hours. Consider a side project that utilizes your existing talents.
Even $500 extra monthly is a $6,000 annual raise, a massive percentage jump on this base.
The mission isn't to stay at 35,000 and be good at it. The mission is to build the barrier, kill the debt, and bridge the gap to the next tier.
Now, let's pivot to the $75,000 mark. This is a fascinating psychological crossroads.
You have achieved air. Your essentials are managed. You aren't waking up in a cold sweat over bills, but you aren't exactly wealthy yet.
You are in the middle, possessing enough cash to make massive strides, or enough slack to hang yourself financially.
Since you are outperforming half the population, your choices now have permanent compounding effects.
The first move at 75,000 is capturing every ounce of guaranteed money.
If your employer offers a retirement match and you aren't hitting the ceiling, you are essentially rejecting a pay raise.
This is the only free lunch in finance. If they match 5% and you contribute 5, you instantly gain a 100% return before the market even moves.
No investment on earth guarantees that. At 75,000, that match is worth thousands annually.
Beyond that, activate a tax-free investment vehicle like a Roth IRA. In 2026, the limit is $7,000.
Letting that money grow without a future tax bill can save you 6 figures in the long run. Combined, these create a wealth engine that operates without your permission.
The second strategy is total systemization. At 35,000, you had to micromanage every cent. At 75,000, you have enough cushion to build a machine that manages the money for you.
This removes the human error factor. On the day you get paid, automated wires should distribute your capital immediately.
A slice to the IRA, a slice to the home fund, a slice to travel. Bills should vanish via autopay. Whatever is left in the account is your permission to spend money.
This means you aren't relying on willpower or memory. Whether you are tired, busy, or unmotivated, the wealth builds. Automation also protects your credit score by ensuring no payment is ever missed. The setup takes an hour. The freedom lasts a lifetime. The third strategy here is shifting your brain from $3 questions to $30,000 questions. At lower incomes, small cuts matter. At $75,000, obsessing over a coffee habit is a distraction.
$3 questions include, should I buy this latte? Can I save $4 with this coupon? Should I cancel a $10 streaming service?
These drain your mental battery for negligible gains. Stop wasting executive energy on trivial expenses that don't move the needle.
$30,000 questions are different. How do I negotiate a 20% raise? Are my investment fees silently eating my retirement?
How do I raise my savings rate by 2% this year? These questions are worth hundreds of thousands over a career.
Focus your focus on the levers that actually matter. Finally, let us address the six-figure earners.
At 100,000 and above, standard advice often starts to fail you. You have significant power, but you face unique traps.
The first strategy is defining your wealth North Star. Many high earners accumulate for no reason other than more.
Without a specific vision, you default to lifestyle creep, grading your car and house simply because that is what people at your level do.
5 years later, you earn double but feel no richer. The alternative is defining your specific rich life. What does freedom actually look like to you?
When you have a target number, your money has a purpose. Second, you must perform a fee audit. At this scale, fees become lethal.
A 1% advisory fee on $1 million portfolio over 30 years can cost you nearly $200,000 in lost growth.
That is a massive chunk of your legacy gone to a money guy who might just be putting you in basic index funds.
If your situation isn't incredibly complex, pay for advice by the hour, not by a percentage of your hard-earned wealth.
The biggest threat at this level is the silent assassin, lifestyle inflation. It happens slowly. A nicer apartment here, a luxury vacation there. You feel you earned it, but if your spending rises exactly with your raises, your freedom stays stagnant.
Research shows that after about $100,000, more spending rarely equals more happiness. You just adapt to the new nice things. The fix is maintaining a wealth gap. If your income jumps 20%, only let your lifestyle jump 5%.
Invest the rest. This creates a widening canyon of capital. Lastly, question the cultural must-haves like home ownership.
In 2026, the math on renting and investing the difference often beats owning, especially in high-cost cities.
Don't buy a house just because that's what you do. Run the actual numbers. You have the flexibility to choose the path of highest return, not just the path of highest tradition.
Across every bracket, 3 laws remain. Spend less than you earn, automate your excellence, and never stop raising your income ceiling.
The tactics change, but the goal is the same: total agency over your life. Generic advice is a trap.
If you are applying $35,000 rules to $100,000 life, you're playing small.
If you are trying to use six-figure strategies on a starter salary, you are being reckless. Match your moves to your current board.
At Winds of Thought, we believe financial literacy is a spectrum, not a single rule.
If this helped you identify your next move, like this video and check out our full breakdown of the wealth framework.
It covers the underlying philosophy that makes all these decisions simple. The game changes as the numbers grow.
Make sure you are playing the right version. Don't be the person who hears this and changes nothing.
Locate your bracket, execute the strategy, build your bridge, and when you arrive at the next level, be ready to evolve again.
Your paycheck is just a tool. Start using it with precision.